Hi everyone, well my first batch of lenses for my Fuji has arrived, so they've come today. I haven't decided on which route I'm going to go with primes yet, although the 56 1.2 is a given. As for the others, I'm not really certain yet, but what I did know that I wanted firstly was the 18 to 55. This lens, it's unfair to call it a kit lens. It's very, very, very good. I have read some fantastic reviews about this. I have friends who've got it. This was really a no-brainer. Although the 16 to 55 fixed 2.8 is slightly better, not much better, but slightly better IQ. Not noticeable in the real world, but again it has a fixed 2.8 aperture. The size is just ridiculous for this camera. I wouldn't want it for this camera, and besides in a situation where I would be using that, or I would want that, say a wedding or something, I would prefer to go for two bodies and have a wide and a portrait, so maybe a 23 and a 56, one on each body, because then I would have the 1.4 aperture. I would have the smaller prime lenses, which I prefer anyway. But as a walkabout lens, travel lens, this is fantastic. So, as I said, they've only just arrived. So you get a little pouch, whatever it is in here. And let's take a look at the actual lens itself. And you know what? It actually feels really, really, really nice. This does feel like a real quality lens. When you compare it to what you get for the money, I mean, Nikon does make some fantastic lenses. I've been with Nikon since I was a boy, and I would never completely relinquish my Nikon gear. I would still keep some primes and 3 or 4 bodies. But I wanted a smaller system for travel and for other reasons. But you know, unless you're buying at the top end of Nikon, their lenses, they just feel like toys now. And you know, even their really expensive lenses, like their 24, 1.4, so on and so on, these are lenses that cost over £1,000. They just feel like plastic. They don't feel very nice at all. The image quality is great, but they don't feel expensive. They don't feel professional. This does. This feels beautiful. Really, really feels nice. I actually really like this, to be honest. It feels lovely. So there you go. So that's the this is the 18 to 55. Let's see what this looks like on the camera. So here we go. My first one, which is an XT1, and let's see how it goes on here. So there we go. That actually pairs up really nicely. I don't think I would want anything much bigger than this on here. I know you can get the grip, but if you're going to start buying this camera and adding grips for general use, unless you need it specifically for a purpose, for longer battery life or something, it's beginning to defeat the object. This, even with this fairly handy zoom lens on, is still quite a nice little package. It goes in a tiny little bag, so it actually feels really, really nice. So I'm looking forward to trying this out. Okay, and next, as I said, I've not decided completely on which primes I'm going to get yet, apart from the 56, of course. This one though was on offer, was very, very cheap, and again, sometimes when I want to downsize the camera to a small size, this is the 27mm 2.8 pancake lens. It's a pretty good lens. It was on offer and I got it so cheap it was just irresistible. So even though this wasn't in my list initially, for what it cost, it's a great lens if I want to downsize the size of the camera. Let's see how it looks on the camera once it's on, this should actually make the camera just absolutely tiny. It's just a lens cap. It hardly protrudes from the grip. Apparently the 18 is not very good, and it's not just from one person that I've heard that, but the 27 does get good reviews. Yes, okay, it's not up there with your top lenses, but it's priced accordingly. But generally, as a walkabout lens, if I don't want my camera to be too big, or if it's a second camera or whatever the case may be, that's pretty good. It was worth the money, so I'm looking forward to trying this one as well. And now lens number 3. This was my real dilemma, because Fuji make a 16 1.4, they make a 14 2.8, but I wanted something wider. If I'm going to go wide, I wanted a 10 or a 12. I've had this one for the Sony before, and I really like it. I know there is a Zeiss 12mm, which obviously is even better image quality than this. Again, as with all things, not in the real world, but under the microscope, yes, the Zeiss will beat this, but it's 3 or 4 times the price. And I tried this before, and I love it. I love the size, I love the ergonomics, and I love the image quality, and I love the price. So this is, paired with this camera with the traditional dials on it, this lens will actually take me back to just being creative in the days before the camera took control of what I was doing. I will now be able to go out with this lens and literally slow down and do everything manually like I used to before. And this lens, I really do like it. I loved it when I tried it on the Sony. There you go. And it is really good. It feels nice, but without being over the top. It's got a lovely, really firm but smooth focus ring. The throw's pretty good. Again, you can literally from 1 meter, if you're at say f4 5.6, from about 1 meter onwards, everything will be focused from just over a meter to infinity. So it's actually very good. As I said, the dilemma was, because I wanted this, the 16 1.4 is an amazing lens. It's one of the best lenses Fuji makes, but I would probably find that I would hardly ever use that, because most of the time I would reach for this. So I will leave the 16 till last. I think the next lens I get will probably be the 56 or the 23, and more than likely I will probably go the 10, 12, 23, 56 prime route, and this one as a walkabout lens, or if I want to downsize, this one. I think that will probably work for me. There's no point buying lenses that are too close to each other. It's pointless having the 16, 23, 35, 56. Not only have you shelled out a lot of money just to collect lenses, you constantly have this dilemma: which lens do I want? Which lens do I want? And it actually causes stress. Whereas if you actually buy your primes in doubles, then you know when you want to switch from the 12 to the 23, and you know when you want or need to switch from the 23 to the 56, or if it's an event or something professional, you can have one body with a 23, one body with a 56, which equates to the full frame 35-85, which many wedding photographers do go with, as opposed to the big zoom lenses. I've done weddings with the big zoom lenses, the Nikon 2.8 standard lens, and the 80-200, and to be honest, especially the 80-200, it freaks the hell out of people when they see that thing pointing at them. When they see you with this small camera, to be honest, they just relax, and you actually find it much easier. So this is my initial this is my initial collection of lenses. I'll be able to use these and try them on the camera, and we'll see where it goes from here. So I shall be back soon. Okay, bye.